Good morning, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. As you can tell, I've woken up late, but that doesn't mean nothing, okay? I'm not gonna lie, yesterday's workout, I'm genuinely sore. Like, I can only lift my arm this high up, because this, like, right here hurts. It's great. I love it. I think it's because I missed a week. I don't really have any other ideas as to why it's gonna be that sore, including my back, like the middle section, I guess you could say. I don't really know how to explain this, but my back is sore, and it's great, and my chest too, like in this area. It's amazing. All right, so tell me how I had my pants and that on, and I was 146. I took it off, and I was 145. The fact that this is all 1 pound is kind of ridiculous. I was sick this last week. Shit was pretty unpleasant, I'll be honest. I had sinus, I had throat pain, I had fucking all of it. I was right about the whole like sore throat going away by Monday, but everything else didn't go away by Monday. If anything, I got something else by Monday. So I needed like a full week to recover. In that week, doing absolutely nothing, it was cool at first, but then I just got fucking bored. Like extremely quick. There was nothing to watch. There was nothing to do. I was basically just doing fuck all for the whole day, for the whole week. And I was like, God damn, you know what I mean? So when it was time to get back to exercising, that felt amazing. But on that topic of like taking time off and chilling for a little bit, I feel like it's needed. That's why I be having Sunday as a rest day, but Sundays are also good for like, well, not just Sundays. Rest days in general are good for resting, because you don't want to, let's say Monday through Sunday, you're just constantly doing something damn near every hour of the day. Let's say like 8 hours, right? You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get tired, and you're not going to want to keep doing whatever it is that you're doing throughout those 7 days. But when you take a rest day, then it's like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? Now you have time to chill. You got time to do what you gotta do. You got time to yourself for the whole 2 days. Taking time off, and then boredom as well. Don't be afraid of boredom. Don't be afraid to be bored. Because if you're afraid to be bored, then you're kind of like just forcing yourself to work. And if you're forcing yourself to work, you're gonna end up not liking the work, right? That's just how it works. So don't be afraid to take time off. Don't be afraid of boredom. And don't let your ideas linger for too long. If you do, the third one, right? If you do let your ideas linger for too long, they're basically going to become dried. Like, they're going to be dried up. It's like leaving a grape out in the middle of the sun, heat, 100 degrees outside. I actually don't know if this is how raisins are made, but you get my analogy, hopefully. It's going to dry up. The grape is going to dry up. And when it dries up, it's no longer going to be as sweet as you'd like, or sour, if you like your grape sour for some reason. Be bored. It's okay to be bored. Through boredom, you're deadass gonna find everything that you need. Maybe not everything, but it's gonna help for sure. It's if you're bored, this is gonna sound weird, but if you're bored properly, there is no proper way to be bored, but bored in the sense of like you're bored looking for something to do rather than just bored and not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? But even when you're doing nothing about it, there's still chances for you to find opportunities and get new ideas. So it's like, just be bored. It's okay. Just be bored. If you have nothing to do for the day, do nothing. You know what I mean? Sit in silence for an hour. And I promise you, in that hour, you might come up with an idea or two. Maybe 5 if you're different. It's special. I don't know. But point is, don't be afraid to be bored. Right? Then goes allowing yourself time off. You don't want to do too much of anything, because too much of anything is never good for you. I mean, too much water you're literally going to get water poisoning. That's not a good idea. You know what I mean? Take time away. Not time away from water. You need water daily. But like, not too much water, right? And not too little, because then you're going to be dehydrated and you're not going to enjoy the thing that you're doing. That's actually a good example. It's kind of like a balance. You got to like, boom, this is a center, right? If you do too much of this, it's like you're in the red zone. If you do too little, you're like in another red zone of a bad and another bad. You want it right in the center so that it can be green. You can tilt here and there. You could do a little extra, you know what I mean? A few extra hours, but don't do too many hours, because then you're gonna be like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. And then if you do too little, or if you're like right here where you're doing like just enough, it's like, okay, you have the energy to do more, right? And you're kind of like preserving that energy by doing a little less today, because then tomorrow you're going to want to do more, because then taking that little time away from it allowed you to look forward to it the next day. And then if you do too little, right, then in that you're going to be like, damn, I kind of don't find joy in this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it. And then you stop. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you do too little of something or too much of something. The third thing I realized this week, this is weekly recap plus like what I've learned. Okay. Last thing I learned was not letting your ideas stagnate. So that's the third one, right? First one was allowing yourself breaks, allow yourself to be bored. Don't let your ideas stagnate. All right. See, now, as you're in that state of boredom and ideas are kind of flowing through your mind and you're kind of like getting an idea or getting a picture of what it is that you want to create, or if it's anything else that you want to do, that too. But you're essentially getting the idea of it, right? Write it down somewhere. Write it down in detail. Write it down with a date next to it. Write it down with some sort of indicator that shows that you're gonna work on it. And just writing it down in general means that you're like, it's there. It's there for you to look back on and be like, oh yeah, I had that, in case you forgot. Or it's there to be like, oh yeah, said I was gonna do this day, and then boom, you work on it. Because if you let your idea stagnate, you might not know how great of an idea it was. No, it's a little corny, but that's really what it is. If I had this idea, right, for like, let's say Halloween, I want to shoot like a short movie, but I don't write it down anywhere, and then I forget, and then Halloween comes, and then I see someone else come out with a short movie. I'm like, fuck, I had the same idea. I'm like, fuck, I had the same idea, but I didn't do anything about it, and they did. You know what I mean? And it's not just other people doing my ideas. It's more of the, I guess, principle of it, of like, you had it there. You had the similar idea, maybe not exactly what they did, but you had an idea and you did nothing about it. You didn't write it down anywhere. You didn't remind yourself. You didn't work on it. These two people wanted to go rock climbing, right? I don't know if I've said this before. I feel like I have, but I don't know if I told you guys. And if I did, I'm sorry if I'm saying it again, if I'm repeating myself, but I'm saying it again. Two people wanted to go rock climbing, and they both started at the same time, started out with the same idea, right? One of them, though, he found a spot that does rock climbing. He went there, he used their gear, he used whatever they had, and he started learning how to rock climb, right? The other one, before they even started, they went online, they were watching YouTube videos, they were watching what's the best equipment to have, what's the best place to train, who should I get as a trainer, all of these things that kind of don't matter because they didn't start, but they both had the idea of wanting to go rock climbing. One of them had the idea, and then they went out and did it, right? They either wrote it down somewhere, they kept it in their mind, they wanted to do rock climbing, so they look for a place and then they go rock climbing. That person kept their idea intact and they didn't let it stagnate. The second person was doing too much preparation before they actually even went to go try out the thing itself. So by the time it came for them to the date that they gave themselves of, oh, I'm gonna go rock climbing today, they eventually fell out of the whole idea. They didn't even want to do it, but they had all this expensive gear, all this chalk, all the shoes with the boots, the equipment to hold yourself up, all of that. They had all of that, but they've never been rock climbing and they never went. So now they just wasted a bunch of money on this superficial idea, and they let that idea stagnate because they didn't go out and do what it is that they wanted to do. You can't let your idea stagnate. You can't just have the idea, think of everything that's good about it, and then not do it. You know what I mean? Have the idea, start out with whatever you have, and then slowly look into the things that would better that idea and allow you to really maximize its potential, essentially. That's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, those are the three things that I've kind of like, I didn't think this heavily about it, but because mentally, like, it just kind of, I already knew that this is what I meant when I thought of these things, but I'm vocalizing it so that you can understand it. So this week recap, I was sick, I've gotten better, we're back on track, and the three lessons I just gave you are, I feel like, something that you could put to use in your own life somehow, some way. So don't let your ideas stagnate. Be okay with boredom, sitting in boredom, doing nothing for a day, even if you feel unproductive. And be okay with stepping away from whatever it is you need to step away from, just so that you can have time to yourself, so that you don't get burnt out about that thing. Because even in relationships, I know I'm dragging it, but even in relationships, you still get tired of the person if you're constantly texting them, if you're on FaceTime throughout the entire night and day, if you're like seeing this person, maybe not seeing them in person. Seeing them in person might be a little okay, but seeing them like way too often, it takes away from both of you having a life and both of you actually having something to speak about. And it turns into this whole like, you just kind of get tired of the person. You either get tired, or the love isn't as strong as it was before, and then eventually it just kind of dies down, and then it's like you're more like friends than you are dating. You know what I mean? Because both of your lives are so intertwined that it's like y'all have no separate lives outside of each other. And that's why when you break up, you don't know what to do. You don't know which direction to go, because you're so stuck on that person, because you spent every day and night with them. You know what I'm saying? So be okay with allowing them to have their own personal space, their own life, their own hobbies, ideas, whatever it is that they do. Allow them, take time away, and spend more time with yourself in that time that you take to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you in this weekly recap. Monday we get back to schedule, and next week is actually my birthday week. So Saturday is my birthday. The entire week is my birthday week, but I'm not doing nothing crazy. Thursday you're gonna see a little hair change. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I want you to guess in the comments what it is. Yeah, that's all I got for you for right now. I'm gonna finish working out. I know like in the video it looks like I finished working out. I didn't finish working out. I'm about to finish right now. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. I'm not pointing the middle finger. This is actually my ring finger. But subscribe. And I'm gonna see you guys Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, I'm grateful. And peace.